In the farthest reaches of my imagination, I never envisioned that my marriage would crumble beneath the weight of a single casually spoken sentence delivered with an eerie detachment. It's just one evening with him. I beg you. Her name was Eleanor, and for nearly a decade, we had woven a life together rooted in the warmth of simplicity, the ease of familiarity, and the gentle rhythm of our daily rituals. Mornings found us sipping hot coffee, our fingers grazing as we exchanged the sugar. Friday nights were sacred, spent nestled on the sofa, lost in the glow of our favorite series. A shared throw draped over us. Saturdays brought leisurely supermarket strolls where we'd tease each other over splurging on artisanal bread or sticking to the budget-friendly loaf. Our existence wasn't flashy, but it was solid, comforting, and I thought unshakable. Eleanor had been thriving at a high-profile marketing firm for 4 years, her drive a flame that had always captivated me. Yet, in recent months, a subtle change crept in. Her wardrobe grew sharper, her outfits curated with precision. She lingered at work long after hours, her reasons hazy but reasonable enough. Then, a name began threading through our conversations with unsettling regularity: Julian Voss, her supervisor. Affluent, magnetic, newly single, and strikingly handsome. Julian was the sort of man who drew eyes effortlessly, his charisma a quiet force that lingered in the air. At first, I dismissed it with a laugh. Who wouldn't be dazzled by someone so commanding? It felt trivial, a passing fascination. But fascination soon deepened into something far more gripping. Julian became a phantom presence in our home, not in flesh, but through Eleanor's words. Over meals, she recounted his witty remarks or daring corporate strategies. She cited his perspectives as if they were sacred texts. Most painfully, she began weighing me against him. Her critiques veiled but sharp. Julian would have approached it another way. She'd muse, or Julian always seals the deal. Each reference to him eroded the bedrock of our marriage, though I didn't fully recognize the damage as it unfolded. Then came the night that fractured everything. We sat at our modest kitchen table, the remains of a risotto dinner cooling between us, when Eleanor placed her wine glass down and fixed me with a disquieting calm. "I know this sounds wild, Daniel," she began, her tone measured, as if she were asking to borrow my scarf. "But Julian invited me to a weekend getaway in Napa. Just as two. He says he's pulled to me, that there's something electric between us. He wants one night, just one, no commitments. I'll return to you after, I promise." The world seemed to lurch. The wine in her glass quivered, mirroring the gravity of the words she just set free. My chest tightened. My heartbeat thundered, but my thoughts were crystalline, cutting through the haze of disbelief. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment admission sparked by a fleeting whim. This was a deliberate decision, one she'd likely been turning over for days, perhaps longer. She wasn't asking for my approval. She was testing how much of my pride I'd sacrifice to keep her. "You want to spend a night with him?" I asked, my voice steady, almost unnaturally so. She nodded, her gaze firm yet weary. "Just one night. It won't alter what we have. I need to explore this to make sense of it. Then I'll move on." I didn't answer right away. Instead, I stood, my chair scraping the wooden floor, and walked to our bedroom. From the wardrobe, I retrieved the duffel bag we'd used on our honeymoon in Crete, its fabric still worn from that joyous adventure. I began packing my sweaters, my novels, my life. Eleanor trailed behind, her bewilderment tangible. "What are you doing?" she asked, her voice edged with panic. "Granting your wish," I said, folding a jacket with meticulous care. "If one night with Julian is what you need, have it. Have every night. I'm finished." She let out a shaky laugh, as if I were staging a jest she expected me to drop by sunrise. But I wasn't pretending. That night, I stayed awake, the flicker of my laptop screen lighting the divorce forms I composed with my attorney through email. By morning, I handed her the signed papers, my signature a bold testament to my determination. "You were ready to barter our marriage for a single night with your boss," I said, my tone even despite the pain gnawing at my heart. "So now you're free. No need to sneak or lie. You can live the life you've chosen." Eleanor's poise shattered. She begged, her words spilling in a frantic torrent. She swore it was a lapse, that she never meant to wound me, that she'd stay if I'd only absolve her. But her tears couldn't undo the reality her request had exposed. A woman who could ask for just one night with another man wasn't someone I could rely on to share a future, to raise a family, to age alongside. Her betrayal wasn't in the act she hadn't yet carried out. It was in the ease with which she'd articulated her longing, as if our 9 years together were a trivial hurdle. The months that followed blurred into a fog of legal meetings, strained silences, and the gradual unraveling of our shared existence. Eleanor moved out, staying with her cousin in a small flat across the city. Through shared acquaintances, I heard that her Napa escape with Julian hadn't ignited the epic romance she'd dreamed of. To him, it was precisely what he'd offered. One night, nothing more. She'd wagered everything, our marriage, our trust, our history, for a transient thrill, only to be cast aside when dawn broke. A year later, she reached out, leaving a voicemail heavy with remorse. "You were right, Daniel," she said, her voice cracking in a way I'd never heard. "I was so foolish. I ruined everything for nothing. I'm so sorry." I played the message once, then erased it. I didn't call back. There was nothing left to discuss. Now, 3 years on, I forged a new path in Seattle, managing a modest branding studio from a snug home office. The loneliness that once stung like a fresh cut has transformed into a wellspring of resilience. A quiet haven where I've rediscovered myself. I've come to cherish the small moments, the rhythm of rain on my window, the pride of a well-crafted design, the liberty to live authentically. As for Eleanor, she got her one night, but it cost her everything we'd created. She believed a single night wouldn't matter, that our love could endure a brief betrayal. But she failed to grasp that true love isn't about testing limits or flirting with temptation. It's about choosing each other day in and day out, even when the world beckons you elsewhere. When Eleanor looked into my eyes and asked for permission to stray, she unveiled a truth she'd concealed, perhaps even from herself. Her heart had already drifted. Leaving wasn't about rage or vengeance. It was about clarity. I didn't lose a wife that day. I lost a mirage, a version of Eleanor who never truly existed. And in that loss, I gained something far more profound, the courage to demand the love I'm worthy of, the fortitude to rebuild, and the serenity that comes from knowing some choices, once made, are irrevocable. For me, that was the greatest treasure of all.